You have to love yourself, no doubt. If you don't love yourself, if you don't find yourself, if you don't understand why you are here on this planet, then you'll do things casually, haphazardly. You don't know your talents, your skills, your abilities. You don't know what you are called to do, what makes you extraordinary. If you don't know any of that stuff, get to know yourself so that you can find out what it is that you do that is better than most. What makes you special? What are your abilities? What do people applaud you for? Get to know that stuff about you before you start having sex with a whole bunch of women or even one. We're moving into the heart of the subject. Because when you don't know yourself and you marry an overweight Ophelia, a selfish Susie, a religious Rhonda, a bipolar Becky, a bossy Barbara, a hard to handle Hannah, you're going to be in trouble. Now, I know you can get out of the marriage, but that takes a lot of money, man. That takes a lot of energy to really get out of a marriage. You got to come up off those ducats. You got to spend some dinero. The loot is going to separate from you. When you choose wrong, I'm trying to help you choose right. When you marry wrong, you're going to know it like that. You may even know it before you walk up to the altar on the day of your wedding. And a lot of times, most men do. But what has already happened? People have RSVP'd for the wedding reception. The venues have already been paid for. The wife-to-be is gloating. She's at the happiest she's ever been. And so you don't want to come in and break all that goodness up, all that sweetness up, all that joy, all that happiness. You don't want to poop on the party. You don't want to be the one to rain on her parade. But you know, dang, she ain't the one. So you go through with it. You go through the motion. Knowing doggone well, she's not your conscious Carmen.
I speak truth without attack. I call you forward, not back. I don't put you hear God clearer when I'm near. Because my love don't interfere. I don't nag your potential awake. Ooh, I affirm the steps you make. Ooh.
She's not what you want her to be. And actually, she's not what you need her to be. She's something else. But because you got caught up in the moment, you may have been listening to other men or women. Man, you got you a good one. Man, she pretty. Woo, dog, you chose right, man. She got a shape on her. Woo, dog, I know you can't wait till you hit that. Boy, y'all gonna have some cute kids. All these reasons that I be hearing that people get married, or maybe y'all already had children together and you're saying to yourself, I might as well make it right. It's the right thing to do. We've been together for 15 years. I don't want to give up on her now, but she ain't changed. She has no personal development under her belt. She grew up without her father and she never got her healing from that. Do you believe for 1 second that she's going to know how to treat you, especially when she's upset? She's not. Where did she learn her discipline from? If her mother was undisciplined, she ain't learn it. Now, this don't apply to every single woman, but 9 times out of 10 it does. See, I'm going to tell you a secret. Only about 3% of the women out here are extraordinary. Only 3%, 97% you don't want to touch. You shouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. How do you determine whether or not she's a 3%er? How do you know if she's a Proverbs 31 woman? How do you know if she's a Proverbs 31 wife? How do you know if she's extraordinary? At the bare minimum, the core values must match. Core values are who you are when no one is looking, when you're in the dark, whether you're around dignitaries or someone down in the dumps. Your core values inform you. They guide your decision making. They undergird your standards. You got to know what your core values are. Most people don't even know what their core values are. They know what the company who they worked for, they know that core value, but they don't know their own. You have to know all of yours. How many of my core values should I know? At least 100. If you don't know what your core values are, how are you going to compare and contrast those that you have with your intended spouse? You won't have a reference point. So core values is the number one. The second thing is the law of reciprocity. The law of reciprocity says that when someone does something kind for you, when someone blesses your soul, then you in turn do likewise. And if you do likewise to the third degree, you will be blessed immeasurably back from that person, because reciprocity will become a thread, just like a habit, just like you develop a habit that you don't think about. That's how reciprocity works with the person who you marry, who is the right wife for your life. When they give, you give. When you give, they give harder. When they give, you give to the third degree. Reciprocity. And the third thing that you got to have is a personification of the law of cause and effect. We know what pushes our intended spouse's buttons. We know what gets under her skin. We know what makes her feel taken for granted. We know what injures her emotionally. So we don't intentionally set out to do those things, because we know that represents a pain point for her. If you have a woman who does the same for you, which we go back to reciprocity, there is nothing you guys can't solve. No issue you cannot resolve. The other 97%, man, they don't know nothing. They don't care nothing. They could care less about core values. It means absolutely nothing. Zero, zilch. They do not reciprocate. They only want to receive, or they want to receive more than they give back. And when it comes to the law of cause and effect, out the window. Don't let them get upset. Don't let them get frustrated. And don't let them have an issue with anxiety or depression. You can forget it. You are wasting your energy. You are wasting your life. And I'm trying to keep you from doing it. I want you to live your best life. I want you to be rich. I want you to be wealthy. I want you to be healthy. I want you to be happy.